Now let's do a problem. A glider of mass 1.25 kilograms moves with a velocity of 3.62 meters per second on a frictionless level track and collides with a second glider of mass 3.2 kilograms that is initially at rest. After the collision, the first glider moves with 1.07 meters per second in the opposite direction to that of its original. What is the velocity m2 after the collision? And part B for this question, suppose the two gliders are moving now, stick together after the collision. So basically they now have a completely inelastic collision. What is the final velocity of the collision combination? Okay. Now, the question gives us that we have a glider of mass 1. Glider is 1.25 kilograms. And it gives us that its initial velocity is 3.62 meters per second. And it collides with a mass m2, which is 3.2 kilograms. And its initial velocity is 0 meters per second. Okay, so now note this is a smaller mass and it comes and hits a larger mass. So a small mass becomes incident on a big mass, it comes and hits it. This m2 is at rest, so it's at 0, and this is m1. Okay, now it's asking that v1 final, this mass goes back after the collision, so this means it's minus 1.07 meters per second. Note the minus sign indicates the change in direction, and v2f is what we need to calculate. So we know that this is an elastic collision, and we know that the momentum will be conserved. So if the momentum is conserved, delta P will be equals to 0. That means P initial should equal P final, which means M1 V1I plus M2 V2I equals M1 V1 final plus M2 V2 final. Okay, make sure that I have that correct. Yes. So now all it needs is for you to plug in the numbers. So M1 V1 V2I equals 0. So I'm going to get M1 V1I minus M1 V1F equals M2 V2F. That means I can rewrite this as M1 V1I minus V1F divided by M2 will give me my V2F. So plug all the numbers that you have from up there in here, and your calculation of the velocity, well, mine is 1.83 meters per second, but you probably want to do this for yourself and make sure that I did not make any mistakes. So now in part B, it is basically telling me that the two will stick together after the collision. So when they stick together, this will remain exactly the same. However, from here on out, instead of having M1 and M2 be separate, I will have M1 plus M2 as a final velocity. V final equals M1 V1I. Do you see how that one works for part B? Because they're going to stick together at the end, I will only have one velocity coming out. And all I have to do now is plug in the numbers for M1, M2, M1, and V1I. And I can calculate V final for this case. And my V final comes out to be that. But please make sure that you correct it. So now let's take the situation where we now have two-dimensional motion. A body A of mass m has an original velocity of 6 meters per second in the positive x direction towards a stationary object of the same mass. After the collision, the body A has Vx of plus 1 meters per second and Vy of plus 2 meters per second. What is the magnitude of the body B's velocity after the collision? So the initial condition is that A comes and strikes B, and it's calling it the positive x direction. So in this case, the positive x direction will be this way. And for the final situation, what it's telling us is that it has a positive x direction and a positive y direction. So A goes that way. Now the question is, what happens to particle B? What direction and what magnitude will particle B have? So in this case, we're going to look at particle A, it comes and hits particle B. It's a glancing collision. One of them goes this way. The other one's supposed to go this way, but we're kind of going to mathematically calculate what this is going to do. So since we know that the momentum during this collision should be conserved, right? However, momentum is a vector quantity. So that means that I now have to worry about two different vectors. I have to worry about px and I have to worry about py. Okay? Since I can't just do delta px. And then once I have those done, I can figure out the final velocity by doing vx squared plus vy squared, right? So that will give me my total momentum. But I can't do that unless I have to worry about these two things first. So let's talk about what happens in the x component. Okay? So let's see. Delta p is 0, that means v final, p final equals p initial in the x direction, right? So this means m1 or MA VA final plus MB VB final along the x will be equals to MA VA initial along the x, MB VB initial along the x. So since the A particle has the initial momentum, and how much was that momentum? It was equals to 6 meters per second that it's coming in with. So I can plug that value in, and I'm calling this as the positive direction, right? Positive x, positive y. So my mass that it is giving me is m. MA, MB, MA, and MB are all the same, so I can get rid of them. So I don't need to worry about them too much since they're all exactly the same. So MAF, this is the final velocity and this is the final velocity. This is the initial velocity and this is the initial velocity. Well, this is equals to 0 because that is what's given to us. So that means the velocity A final plus velocity B final should equals velocity A initial. So velocity A initial was equals to 6 meters per second. Velocity A final, as the question gives me, is plus 1 meters per second plus VBF. That implies that VB final in the x direction is 5 meters per second. Now, what about the y component? Well, the y component is exactly the same. Sorry, this you might not be able to. So for the y component, we have the same thing, exactly the same thing. We will have MAVAF, so same thing as that equation, y plus MBVBFY equals MAVA IY plus MBVBIY. There was no component along the y direction for the x because this was stationary initially. And what about was there any component initial along the y direction? No. So that equals 0 as well. MA and MB are equal. This means VA final y will be equals to minus VB final y. They are equal and opposite. Since that the given answer was 2 meters per second afterwards, so that means VBFY will now be equals to minus 2 meters per second. So indeed, if you were to find where your second mass went, it was in the positive x, this is positive x, and this is negative y. Okay? Which makes sense. Now, the last part was when we want to find the velocities, what do? We take both of these, this one and this one, and we plug it back into equation 1. That means what are we going to get? 5 squared plus minus 2 squared square root. And the answer comes out to be something like 5.4 meters per second. For my final velocity of my mass B.